Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am so glad you're here. Today's date is Thursday, January 2nd, 2025. Recently, we've had a couple of actions in the United States that are being investigated as terrorist activities, including the truck that on New Year's Eve killed, now the count is at 15 people at in New Orleans, and then the truck that exploded in Las Vegas in front of the Trump Hotel. It's always good to wait 48 hours for things, and indeed, even as I'm making this video, more information is coming about these two events. I'm going to take you to my X account real quick and show you a repost I've got, and mention another one that is also found on my page. And then we're going to see what the universe wants us to know about these two incidents. Are they related? What's going on? I think the universe will have some interesting information for us. Okay, without further ado, let's go to that share screen. Won't take long. Okay, I reposted something from Candace Owens, and she had a tweet out that said the New Orleans terrorist and the guy who blew up the Tesla truck both had served in the same army base. Incidentally, that's on Fort Bragg, which I've read about a couple of years ago. That base has got a checkered history. Given what we know about the history of sadistic government programs in our military, this brings forth more questions than answers. If you go to this tweet of hers, please read a few of the comments because they're very enlightening or thought-provoking. Let's just leave it at that. Now, also, MJ Ultra Truth, I just reposted something from them. Matthew Liversberger, who was the gentleman that had rented the truck at that exploded in front of the Trump Hotel. The Las Vegas police have just announced that he was shot in the head before his truck blew up. You can't drive when you're shot in the head. Now, it's good to remember that those Tesla Cybertrucks can almost drive themselves. And there was already speculation in the alt media community that this gentleman might have been dead before that truck ever parked. And with forensic science being what it is, that has been determined to be true. So, but the interesting thing is both of these gentlemen served at Fort Bragg. They both have military training. They served in the same unit, I think, but definitely on the same base. So the chances that they knew one another or got roped into some sort of a program that may be running there makes me really curious. And I want to ask the universe about it. So I want a yes or no element to this question, and I'm just going to ask right out. The two gentlemen that had those actions that happened a couple of days ago in Las Vegas with the Cybertruck that was exploded, and then the F-150 that plowed through a bunch of people and killed now 15 people. Those two gentlemen, I want to know if there's a connection with them that involves some sort of military programming like MK Ultra, plus additional insights and information. So we'll see what the universe wants us to know in general, and then specifically if there is a nefarious tie, if those gentlemen's minds have been altered. And that was one of the reasons why I recommended that Candace Owens thread to you, because if you read some of the comments, people were even talking about some of the programs that can make people, there's more descriptions about the programs out there. I'll just leave it at that because I don't want to have problems with my channel. So let's go to the next camera and I'll work with the cards and we'll ask our question. Again, we're just asking with a yes or no element. The two gentlemen that had the New Year's incidents in Las Vegas and in New Orleans, they served in the same base. Are they both, is there a connection to them that involves some sort of military programming, mind control programming, plus additional insights and information? Okay, this will be a Kachina knife spread, which is an initial 7 cards. We may pull more if there's a lot of information that seems to be being shared with us. And we'll see what the cards want us to know about this question. These two gentlemen that were involved in those incidents. The Ford F-150. Now there were, I should be specific, the two that were known to be driving, because they did say that in New Orleans there might have been a number of assistants or other people involved. So the driver or the reported driver of both that Ford F-150 and the Cybertruck. They served on the same base. Are they both a product of some programming, mind programming, plus additional insights and information about these events that the universe wants us to know? Okay, our first card is the Six of Swords, the Devil, Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords, Knight of Wands, Three of Cups, and the Three of Pentacles. Okay, that's our initial spread. Let's talk about those cards. So what I'm getting intuitively and just based on some of the impressions I'm getting from the cards, and I'll show you elements in the cards that kind of make me say that. First of all, these gentlemen, yeah, I don't think they were acting free and of their own volition, because this card indicates taking care, going from a place of chaos to safety and protecting innocent life. And innocent life was harmed in these events. And we've got the Devil card here, just kind of letting us know that there was some nefarious activity involved with this. So I think in the case of the Cybertruck, that man was dead before the crash. That's already been established. I think he should be considered a victim of the event, not a perpetrator, until we find out more. If we do, because the DA in Las Vegas is Soros backed, and that is a matter of record if you'd like to check into that. So there's how much are they going to investigate the deep state when the deep state backs them? So anyway, let's get back to the cards and what I'm getting. Again, I get that these weren't willing slayers. They weren't willingly harming others. And I say that because of these two cards. Now, in the recent past, we got the Queen of Wands talking about she's very direct and forthright. Then we have another kind of strong feminine energy here with the Queen of Swords. And in event reads like this card often talks about some truth, and it's always good to just look at where this card landed and what someone's pointing at when there's a pointing element. And again, she is pointing at the Devil. So this is strongly emphasizing the aspect of this card in the read. Let's look at the near future and see what we're going to be finding out more about these events as things come out. And again, it's going to be muddied, clouded, and end up being, unfortunately, the tragedy of the week and the distraction of the week, and something else will take the headlines shortly. But until it does, let's see what we can find out. Knight of Wands is one of my white hat cards. And so the white hats, I think, are aware of the fact that there is some weaponization of military and former military people that have had exposure to programs or programming. And so they're kind of on it. The another thing that makes me think that there may be an element of lack of autonomy in the actions of those gentlemen involved is this Three of Cups, which can just indicate some mild celebrating. And I don't think this is the fact that the deep state's going to be celebrating what ended up being a couple of successful actions. This can also talk about substances that have been derived in less than kosher ways and administered. So yeah, and when it's about the children, it can be one thing, but it can just also indicate, again, some programming and chemical additives to people's physiology that makes a change. We have the Three of Pentacles here, which I see this card as a firm foundation card. So it looks like, because of the white hat element here, they're going to be on it and trying to stop as many of these actions as they can. Now, in the meantime, because we know definitely for the first half of this year, if you look at some of the astrology charts going on for the world, the first half of the year is kind of tumultuous. And we know right now, as we're getting ready in the United States to have a political party change and administration change, that people are wanting to impact negatively. There's events that are going to happen. So that's why they say head on a swivel. head on a swivel. If I had been in Bourbon Street and I had seen that those bollards, those cement items that stop traffic from going in were down, I think I would have partied somewhere else. So it's on us. We have to take responsibility for our own safety as much as we can, and especially in these times. So when you're at a mall, know your exits, look around. If your hinky meter goes off and you think so, it's better to be too cautious than to wish you'd been more cautious. So let's take some responsibility for as potential collateral damage in these events, keeping ourselves as safe as possible. And that means situational awareness and, like I said, head on a swivel. Let's get a few more cards here and see what's going on. Yeah, there was loss of life here with the 10 of swords. The 4 of cups is indicating, again, lots of cups showing up here, that I think the talk screens are going to show some interesting elements if we get a legitimate talk screen on these gentlemen. Judgment card, that's a card of results. So, yeah, the results are going to show that these gentlemen were connected, and they were connected by some programming that was not to their benefit. And how they were activated or why, I'll leave that to your imagination, but I think it has a lot to do with the political changes that are very close to happening in the United States of America at this time. So let's recap. Now, I'm not planning to show every card. I'm just going to summarize what we found in the read. If you're interested in every card that showed up, you can back this video up a few minutes and see. But we asked the universe with a yes or no element to the question. These 2 gentlemen at the Las Vegas incident and the New Orleans incident, tragedies both. We asked if since they were both former military and they both served at Fort Bragg, we asked if there was a programming issue going on with those 2 gentlemen that may be contributing to these events happening, plus additional insights and information. We got some interesting information. We did. First of all, according to the cards, their participation really wasn't what either gentleman would have chosen without outside influence. Their nature was to be more of a protector. So it wasn't their desire to do that. And shenanigans abound in the situation. So yeah, we got a kind of a yes here, not kind of but a definite yes that there was some programming and shenanigans that were involved with the incident and weaponizing these 2 gentlemen, however it was done. When we looked at the near future, the white hats, while these incidents aren't getting like the bulk of their attention, they are addressing the situation as much as possible. The onus, as I said in the video, is on we, ordinary citizens and humans who could be potentially affected by some of these flappy thing plans. We need to be we don't need to stay home and cower and be fearful, but we need to be watchful and aware of our surroundings and know our exits and and like I said, if you're getting a vibe that I'm not safe, listen to it and leave. Listen to it and leave. I wondered at first with the Las Vegas incident, if the fact that those traffic barriers were down, if that had anything to do with like some collusion on the part of officials. But from what I was reading, that's part of an upgrade that's been going on for some time with these items. So it doesn't look like that. It was a situation that was taken advantage of, but it doesn't look like it was allowed to happen to help the tragedy. So that was kind of good to see. And again, we got some information in the cards that, yeah, substances not of their choosing had been applied to the gentleman and caused the action. Obviously, there was loss of life with the incident. And a little more information than is available to us right now, but it's going to be coming out. Maybe not as fully as we would like, but we are going to get more information about that. And then the we had the card telling us that the white hats are giving this some attention, but they don't want to be splintered up into small groups and lose their focus. So that's why I said the onus is on us as citizens to know when we're in a safe situation or keep ourselves as safe as possible, and that of those we love. The judgment card showed up that there is going to be some results of this that are going to be, there is some hard work involved with catching and stopping as many of these events as possible and the people behind them. So it's good to know. It's good to know. So that's it for this video. I do have a short afterward that has nothing to do with this topic. So if you'd like to stay for that, you're welcome to. And if you're just here for the current events element and what the tarot might have had to say to layer in a little more perspective, then I thank you for being here for that. And until next time, if you're willing to receive it, I send you love, light, and I wish for you everything bright. Bye. Excuse me. I don't edit, so you're going to hear that cough, and I'm doing another one. Okay, so didn't want you to think I was hoarse, just needed to cough. I just wanted to thank, I had some viewers that went out of their way to make my holiday special, and I wanted to share my appreciation for everybody. But in the tangible category, I got a very nice note and a gift via Amazon from a fellow card reader. Kathy McL, I'll leave it at that, sent me a nice gift, and I wanted to thank her for that and thank all of you. I would like to reiterate that even though I have stuff, I'm not really into collecting stuff. So please, you don't have to feel like you have to send me anything, including, and I'll say it again, while I appreciate gifts that are, monetary that you want to do, I appreciate them. They do help offset some of the costs of the channel because I wouldn't have this speed internet if I didn't have the channel. I wouldn't have as many devices going in my house and things like that. Well, I appreciate it. You don't have to do that, okay? I'm not that big a channel and production here that I can't handle the cost on my own if I need to. So, times are tough. If you can't, don't feel bad about it. If you're thinking that I'm trying to hint that I want more gifts, please, just the opposite. It's kind of like, okay, where do I find a spot for this? I mean, I live in a 700 square foot, 2-bedroom house. It's full. So you don't have to feel like you have to add to my collections at all. But I did want to thank people that did try to cheer up my holiday and show their appreciation, and I do appreciate that. And for the rest of you that contribute energy, that is what is vital. Because doing what I do, I tend to get some energy sent my way that's negative. Maybe just trying to stop the flow of my connection with the cards, the universe, discourage me, distract me, whatever it might be. So your energy gifts, those I will ask for, and I will tell you that I super, super, super appreciate those. So now if you stay for the afterward, that's it. And I thank you again for being with me on this journey. And if you're willing to receive it, I send you love, light, and I wish you everything bright. Bye.